Hey guys, and welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. Gotcha Talks here, and we want to wish you all a very happy holiday to all of you around the world. In today's video, we're going to get some of the crew's favorite holiday times, starting with what was your favorite memory of a past holiday growing up?
Probably when I was a very young lad. My mum went out and she bought me a Mega Drive when it came out. To those in the USA, a Mega Drive is a Sega Genesis. And I remember opening it up and I was like, oh my god, I've got the Mega Drive, this is amazing, I've wanted this for so long. I finally get to play Sonic, and then I noticed on the box that my mum had bought me the Altered Beast bundle. I was absolutely shattered as a kid. I thought the Christmas had went from being the best Christmas in the world to being the worst Christmas in the world. Little did I know, when I went to visit my grandmother later on that day, I would have Sonic given to me as a gift, and it went from doom and despair to being the best Christmas ever.
Hey guys, Iron here, and for me, my favorite holiday memory as a kid growing up would have to be way back in 2007 when I got my Nintendo Wii and was able to play Super Mario Galaxy, man. That game was phenomenal and still holds up in my opinion. But yeah, man, the graphics, the music, the gameplay, all solid.
Hey guys, Talon here. So actually, my favorite memory in terms of the past when I was growing up was actually being able to see my friend that I had met in Japan for the very first time when I came here, actually. And he was able to visit in the States when I was in high school. And so we got to hang out around the holiday times. Got to show him around my hometown and everything. And it was just a lot of fun and everything. And that was definitely one of the best holiday memories I probably have, being able to show him my home, and he got to experience the culture that is the US compared to Japan and everything. So that was really fun.
One of my favorite memories growing up was the Christmas when I want to say around 8 or 10. Back in the day when, I don't know how many of you guys know this or watched the Mega Man series that was on, I believe, Fox TV. The PETs, the pets that they had, they came out as toys and you had the actual battle chip to put in. I got gifted that for that Christmas, and that's not why I remember this Christmas, but to just give you kind of a time frame of when I'm talking about, it was that long ago. This has to be my favorite one because I had all of my not my friends, but all of my family members in one spot. All of my cousins, all of my aunts, all of my uncles in one spot in one of my aunt's house, just celebrating Christmas together. All the cousins were hanging out, all of the, adults were hanging out, and it was just one of the best Christmas I've ever had because it was the biggest Christmas present opening there's ever been, at least in my family. It was just a bunch of fun being able to have all of my family together and hanging out. And ever since then, I've never had my family together like that again because they've all moved to different parts of the country or to an actual different country. So since then, I've never had my entire family together again, and it makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time, it's nice to have that in my memory because it just it makes me happy every time I think about it.
I think I was 6 or 7 years old, so it's a long time ago. I was so into Ninja Turtles. Like, I love Ninja Turtles. I was a Donatello fan, and that was the year my brother started working a lot at a university. When he was a university student, and he decided to buy me a ton of Ninja Turtle toys. I think I got like 15 Ninja Turtle like play sets, masks and stuff like that, whatever you can think of. Like, it was awesome. So my favorite memory, because that was the first time I got a ton of presents, and it was the one thing I loved as a kid.
Ooh, favorite memory of a past holiday growing up. I think for me, it was for Christmas, right? So basically I was a kid, and I remember the DS had just come out. It was huge. That's all I wanted for Christmas. I kept telling my parents, I want nothing else, just get me a DS. That's all I want. And I remember my parents were like, we're gonna go spend the holidays at Puerto Rico with the family, and I was like, why? I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to stay home, because in my mind you could only get what you asked for Christmas like at home. I couldn't get that if I went to Puerto Rico. But I remember we went there. I was so I just didn't want to be there. I was upset. I think Christmas finally came. It was the morning of, and my dad threw a shirt at me with something in it, and it was obviously it was like a big box. I just remember unwrapping the shirt, and it was the Nintendo DS box with Metroid Prime. Was it Hunters? I think it was Metroid Prime Hunters. Oh my god, I lost it. I was so freaking happy. I was showing all my cousins in Puerto Rico. Literally, that's all we did was just play the game and just play with the DS. Honestly, it was a great time. I enjoyed it. It was a good surprise because I was just thinking there's no way I can get what I want in Puerto Rico because I'm not home for it.
Oh gosh, gosh, there's so many, really. I love Christmas and the holidays. I talk about it quite a bit. I'm the type of person who decorates like very early in the year for this. But anyways, I don't know if it's one specific memory, but one of my favorite memories as a child was just the Christmas trees and lights every year. I loved them so much that I would beg to sleep on the couch just so I could be close to it, to the point that my mom ended up putting like another little tree in my room, just because I loved being around the Christmas trees and lights that much. For me, just seeing lights and Christmas trees and stuff is just so happy. I've loved it ever since I was very little. So yeah, it's just kind of remembering all the lights and stuff. Even on really busy years, my mom always went to the trouble of putting up the tree and ornaments and everything and decorating just because she knew we loved it so much. So yeah, that's pretty much my favorite general memory growing up as a child of the holidays.
So my favorite memory from the past holidays was probably when I was about 7 years old. We were at my grandparents' place, who live at the foot of a mid-sized mountain range in Germany. And it was actually snowing, so there was a lot of snow around. And I got a pair of skis, which is funny because I never really went skiing anytime after that. But I tried them out on their lawn and I had so much fun. It was like, I don't know, 3 by 7 meters, and I would just go in circles and around for an hour probably. And then I think I never used them again, and I haven't seen snow in a long time.
So personally for me, my favorite memory growing up was, I think when I turned about 8 or 9 years old, I woke up one Christmas morning, came downstairs, and the surprise of a lifetime was not a console, was not a PS2 or a GameCube, but it was a dual disc. My parents got me the Yu-Gi dual disc. I don't know if anybody remembers that back in the day from Toys R Us, where it's kind of open and you press a button and it flips exactly like Yugi's dual disc, and it went so perfectly with my with my Yu-Gi-Oh collection. And I just remember that being one of the most memorable gifts, as I wanted it all year, kind of gave up, and then bam, Christmas comes around and miracles happen, I guess.
I think the one that stands out the most for me is when I was pretty young. I'm thinking probably like 10 or 11 at this point. I really wanted a bike, like a new bike, because obviously as a kid I had a small, like a early sort of small BMX, but I really wanted a proper like big bike. And my dad has always loved like giving surprises, and so a bike is something pretty big, you know, like kind of hard to wrap up in an interesting way. So I remember we opened a couple of like small presents to start with. There definitely wasn't anything big and bike shaped. And then my dad asked me, little, 11-year-old me, to go out into the kitchen and put the kettle on so all of the adults could have a cup of tea, because I believe my aunt and uncle were over at the time. My sister and I had literally been awake, like just been woken up. And so I went out into the kitchen. I didn't say anything out loud, but it was kind of like, oh, why do I have to go do this? And so yeah, I went out into the kitchen, and there in the kitchen with a small bow wrapped around the handlebars was my first proper mountain bike. So that was very hype. I'm sure, as you can imagine, I was very, very excited.
My favorite memory of a past holiday it's pretty recent, but I had to say last year. I got to visit my family, who live like halfway across the country from me, and it really made me appreciate being able to be close together, especially when we're not that close the rest of the year. So just getting to see my family Christmas last year is a big deal for me.
Let me think. It will probably be when I lived in Spain when I was much younger. We lived in a small village in southern Spain, and during one Christmas, my mum and dad decided to get me a PlayStation 2. I had Formula 1 racing on it, and I had some old school Dragon Ball games like Budokai 3 and 2. That's where my love for Dragon Ball sort of started, was those old PlayStation 2 Dragon Ball games, which I love to this day still, and I still have them now. So yeah.
My favorite memory of a past holiday growing up is the rare instances where it actually would snow on Christmas Day. I think those were pretty much timeless classics, and it really does set the tone for the holidays. So
easily when I got a PlayStation 2 for Christmas, it might have been the year of 06, I believe. I think that's when I got my PlayStation 2. I was wanting one for a really long time, and that Christmas, I just remember opening up my gifts, and I got a PlayStation 2. I was bouncing off the walls. I was giddy. I was holding it, hugging it, bear hugging it. I was not going to let it go. I remember my mom just with the camera and everything. You know how moms are. It's like, you gotta get a picture of the kids with the presents. But yeah, I remember that. I got a ton of games for it. I got all 3 Sly Coopers. Obviously, favorite game of all times, where my name comes from. I'm pretty sure I got Budokai Tenkaichi 2 from Dragon Ball Z. And I think that's the only games that I got for it. I can't remember, but I know that I got those 4 games for sure.
I read this and I immediately knew the answer because it was Christmas 1997. My mom had worked 3 jobs for the entire year. She bought me a PS1 with Final Fantasy VII. That has to be the best memory that I have of a past holiday.
I have a lot of fond memories of holidays, you know, getting maybe like some money for a game or something like that. But honestly, I think the fondest memory I'll have is when I got Need for Speed Most Wanted when I was around 5 or 6 years old. Of course, getting that game, and you know, it gave me my love for Formula One, car racing, all of that, and it's why I am an engineer now. Or a to-be engineer now. So definitely a big indication as to who I am, and it made who I am right now, actually, I should say.
Oh, those are some great ones. Mine would have to be when I was 5. My dad actually surprised me with a Nintendo 64 and an original Game Boy Color, which was super cool. It was awesome. So now let's move on to our next question. If you could give someone anything in the entire world for Christmas, what would it be?
So if I could gift anything to anybody, at these times right now, I think I would just gift out as many 100% effective corona vaccines as I could.
That's tough. I mean, obviously, there's so many things I would love to give people if I could. I guess just off the top of my head, it would be to give Jinro some time off and maybe a nice vacation. He works so much. I know we're both very busy, but he does work a lot. And he really is an awesome person. And if I could, you know, we haven't traveled in a while. I would probably take him just on an amazing trip, maybe, you know, hit up Europe again, or just, you know, take some time to really travel and relax, because like I said, you guys don't always get to see just how awesome of a person he is, but he definitely deserves it.
Okay, Gacha, if I could gift anything to someone, this might sound a little bit self-serving, but if I could get a better house for myself, my wife and my kids, I'd love to gift that to them if I could. I don't mean it to sound so self-serving, it's just right now where we are, it'd be better if we had like a better back garden and stuff like that. So if I could get a bigger house with room to display my Dragon Ball figures and stuff like that, that'd be a lot better. If I could send 2 gifts, I'd also like to get a PS5 for Hydros, because I feel bad for the man. He's been busting his backside to try and get one. So if I could do 2 gifts, I'd also like to get Hydros a PlayStation 5.
And if I could gift someone anything in the world for Christmas, it'd probably be for my parents, just giving them their dream house, like a mansion, decked out completely, whatever the hell they want.
If I could gift anything to anyone in the world, I would actually probably gift both of my parents their dream house along the water, kind of near a beach, but also near a forest at the same time. The forest is more for my dad because he loves nature. My mom loves the beach and everything. They've always wanted a place like that, and obviously living by the water is always gonna be super expensive no matter where you go. But I would personally love to do that and just kind of say a big thank you for, you know, raising me and showing me the way through life and everything. And I always will love them and appreciate them for that.
I think what it would be, it's gonna be a very typical answer, but my parents, I would gift them anything. I just want to spoil my parents. I want to pay off their car, like every loan they have. I wish I could just pay it off for them. I wish I could pay off the house, their cars. I wish I could just spoil them so they can just have no worries in the world whatsoever ever again, because they have raised me and given me everything they could potentially give to me growing up and taking care of me, obviously since I was a child. But they have done anything in their power to always try and get me and my siblings whatever they could and could afford at the time, if not go above and beyond, and even, I'd say, but take out loans to just make us happy. And I've personally never had anyone sacrifice so much for me as much as my parents have. And if I could spoil anyone in the world, it would all go to my parents. I love them so much, and I couldn't, you know, I wouldn't be where I am without them.
My nephews love dinosaurs, big ass cars. My oldest nephew, I give him like a gigantic T-Rex. He loved T-Rexes. And then my second nephew, I mean, he's gonna be 2 soon, and so he's loving cars. So I'll probably get him a little like sports racing car thing.
Honestly, it wouldn't be like one one specific thing. If I could gift anything, it'd be whatever my family needs or family or friends. Like, I don't think I could say a specific person. It's got to go to anybody in my family or anybody that's close to me, all my friends and whatnot. Honestly, I would love to give back whatever I possibly could. Honestly, my dream one day is to like give my parents a huge home. I don't know, give them a car, give them whatever I could do. I mean, if friends too, like I owe it to anybody who's ever, stuck by my side throughout the rest of my life and just like been with me and helped me grow and stuff like that. Like, I cherish all my friends and my family. So whatever I could give them that they need is what I would love to give back, honestly.
That's a tough question, but I would just gift all my family health and well fortune, because all I want is for my family to be happy and healthy. That's the end goal for me in life, is to just, as long as my family could be happy and healthy. I would gift my close relatives, my dad and my grandparents and my mom, let's say a house in I guess a house in Hawaii would be nice, in order for them to get away from all this crazy times we live in. So that would be my answer.
I would give Truth a rainbow LR Piccolo. But no, if I'm being honest, my parents have like always supported me. They've always tried to do their best to give me like everything I've ever wanted. So I would definitely want to do something special for them. They both love going on holiday, just visiting all different places around the world. Even if it's only for like a few days, they'll often go on like boat trips where they get to go to a couple of different places around a certain country for like a few days. So, I mean, if we're talking sky's the limit, I would love to be able to give them their own sort of like private jet or ship so that they could just go wherever they wanted and see all of the interesting places that they want.
Probably would be my mom. Obviously, as a single parent, she's done so much for me ever since I was like 6 or 7 years old. She's raised me to who I am, of course, and, paid for my education and, done a lot of things for me. So easily, by far, I think the first thing I'll say is I would like to give back to her more than anything else.
If I could gift someone anything, I'd have to gift my girlfriend a bigger house, so our podcast and studio equipment didn't take up a good third of it.
It'll probably be making sure my mum and dad live in a house mortgage free for the rest of their life.
I would have to say I would like to donate whatever amount of stones it takes for the one person that got shafted the most out of any of the banners out of the course of the year. I think that's what I would probably most likely do in terms of answering the question and keep it Dokkan related somewhat.
I would probably gift my stepdad a long, much needed vacation. The last 4 years have definitely kicked our butts more than they should have, and he's been doing a lot, so if anything, definitely I would get him a vacation.
I mean, that's a tough question. Me as a person, I just love to... the only thing that I love to do is give. So it would probably be take my wife on a trip. She really deserves it. She puts in all the hard work. She definitely deserves a break. So I would give my wife a vacation.
That's easy for me, because my mom doesn't stop bothering me about it. She wants a mansion in Hawaii. I know it's pretty outrageous. She's been asking for this for years, but I would love to give that to her. And that's definitely what I would love to give my mom one day. It would be real cool. So moving on to our third and final question of this video. What was your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movies. I mean, I remember pretty much every year in Germany they air Home Alone and Home Alone 2. And every year we end up watching it. And I think that this would be my favorite Christmas movies just because I'm watching them every year still, and they have been out for over almost 30 years now. So I just really like the comedy of it, and it's just kind of a nostalgia that comes with those movies.
Number 3 is, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Die Hard! We watch Die Hard every year. I mean, I love Die Hard. John McClane basically saves Christmas, so I think it technically counts. No, and it has Alan Rickman too, so I mean, it's always a good movie. Home Alone's also great too. I watch it every year. I just love Home Alone series, so I'll watch all of that as well. And I like the Jim Carrey Grinch. So those 3 I watch every year around this time. So Die Hard is definitely a Christmas favorite in this household though. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Again, hope you guys are having amazing holidays, and I'll see you later.
Well, Gadget, in my opinion, there's one Christmas movie that tops this list for me. People might argue with me and say it's not a Christmas movie, but I don't care what they say. It's Die Hard. Is there any other answer other than Die Hard? Yes, Die Hard is my favourite Christmas movie. Seeing John McClane running around killing German bad guys and terrorists is what I would class as a perfect Christmas movie. Plenty of action, plenty of jingle bells going on there, and yep, I don't care what anyone says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
My favorite Christmas movie has to be Elf, man. That movie is hilarious in so many ways. I wish they'd make a damn sequel. I don't know why they haven't yet, but Elf is definitely my favorite Christmas movie.
Favorite Christmas movie? This is an easy one, all right? I watch this every year. It's Die Hard. Come on, that's the real Christmas movie. Don't even try to pretend it's not, because it is, guys. You know it is. You know it is.
What is my favorite Christmas movie? I think one of my favorite Christmas movies, I feel like a lot of people have seen this, especially if you grew up on Disney Channel, is I believe it's Mickey's Christmas Carol. And I don't know what it is about that movie. Growing up, I was just a giant Mickey fan. And so when it came to Mickey Mouse, that Christmas movie would always be on Disney Channel. And it just happens to be one of my favorite movies. I honestly haven't seen it in so long, but anytime someone asks me what my favorite Christmas movie is, that's the first one that comes to mind. It's always Mickey's Christmas Carol.
I will die on the hill and say Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anyone says. It's a Christmas movie. The whole thing's based around Christmas. John McClane wants to go home, see his wife and kids for Christmas. Like, it's a Christmas movie, okay? It's a Christmas movie. I love Die Hard. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, that's tough. It's either between The Grinch or A Christmas Story. Honestly, it's A Christmas Story. I'm a much more of a sucker of like the classical like Christmas movies and A Christmas Story. I watch that every year, and that's like probably the one movie I always look forward to watching because it's so funny. I love Ralphie with the BB gun. What was it? I think it was his friend who gets his tongue stuck on the pole, or was it the bully? I think it was the friend. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the friend or something like that. Dude, that movie's a classic, and if you haven't watched A Christmas Story, go watch it.
That's a tough one, but I believe it has to be Home Alone, right? Home Alone is an all-time classic, big part of my childhood. I remember growing up watching it every single year. Home Alone and Elf. I want to say Home Alone and Elf are my top two favorite Christmas movies of all time.
Well, it's a toss-up between two movies that are, they're very similar movies, practically in the same genre, and that is The Muppets Christmas Carol and Die Hard. So yeah, obviously two very, very different movies, but I will maintain until the day I die that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Traditionally, my favorite Christmas movie has always been the Jim Carrey Grinch. I love that movie so much. It's really good. But recently I watched Klaus on, I think it was Netflix, and that one's also extremely good.
I know the other guys before me mentioned some classics, but I'm going to go with Home Alone. This is probably because I enjoyed the whole aspect of him being at the house all by himself, and he had to figure out a way of stopping the people from coming in the house. So all the interesting ideas he came up with, all the mechanisms he came up with, and the funny ways he sort of made them not come through the doors. For example, when I think it's Marv, he slept down the stairs, and that was pretty funny.
I mean, this is kind of like one of those things where people kind of even off into a couple of different segments, but for me, it's always been Die Hard 1 and 2. I actually reserve that just for those holiday periods, and I make sure I don't watch it throughout the year and just hold out as long as I can until Christmas hits. But yeah, Die Hard 1 and 2 has been kind of an annual tradition for a very, very long time, and I don't expect it to change anytime soon.
I definitely enjoy watching the Harry Potter movies during Christmas. They're always on the ABC Family's 25 Days of Christmas special that they normally have going on during this time of the year, and they normally have all of them playing.
I don't really have a specific Christmas movie, but if I would have to pick, it would probably be Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch. I love Jim Carrey, and The Grinch is just, it's a tale that, is pretty close to my heart.
Honestly, my favorite Christmas movie would have to be Home Alone. Easily. An instant classic.
Those are all great movies. My favorite has to be, personally my favorite, has to be All of the Other Reindeer. It's a movie I've watched every year since release. Not many people have heard of it, but it's definitely one of my absolute favorites. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you to everyone from the crew for answering these questions and being a part of this, holiday special. And to all our viewers around the world, happy holidays to you and your families. We love you all. We have one last surprise for you. And with that being said, happy holidays.
From me, Gail Wright, thank you all for watching, and hopefully you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays again. Stay safe. Have a good New Year as well.
I just want to say thanks to everybody who tunes into 5-9 Gaming on a regular basis and shows their support. And I hope you and your families have a great Christmas.
Thanks for everything. And all the guys at 5-9 Gaming, I mean, thank you. You guys have been the coolest guys to work with.
Happy holidays.
Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoy everyone else's answers. Happy holidays. I'll see you guys next time.
I hope you guys have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the best. Stay safe in these crazy times, and let's hope 2021 is better than this year.
Happy holidays. Have a good one.
And I just want to wish everybody happy holidays.
Just want to say thank you so much for the awesome support, guys, and I can't wait to see what we can all accomplish together in 2021. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays and a happy new year.
Thank you guys. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy your time. Can't wait to see you guys all again. Have a good holiday.